Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Mike L. This is Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. It's Thursday night, the start of week 2 in the NFL season. It is September 15th, 2022. That's 909152022. I'm thinking maybe 9 minus the 1 is 8. Best I got, guys, is 5 3 2s doesn't add up. I got nothing for the math geeks. Joining me, as always, Brother Ray. Brother Ray, how are
What's
you?
going on, King? It was a crazy week, guys. Guys, King, we got to go into it. What a week.
I'll tell you what happened. It was funny. I've had a funny week. Let me tell you something. It's crazy. So Monday, got hit by a car. I felt fine. It was great. Loved it. I said to the guy, no problem. Just keep going. Tuesday, I was stabbed. I actually said to the guy, that's okay. It's cool. It was all right. It's all fine. Wednesday, I think I was mugged. Yeah, Wednesday I was mugged. I was like, that's okay. Take my money. I was cool. I was like, yeah, you want the car? He was like, no, I don't want that car. I said, oh, that's cool. And now here we are on Thursday, and I'm still in the same mood, Brother Ray. And the problem is, I have what's called Giants winitis. It's this rare disease that comes over you where you're just happy about everything. It doesn't matter what happens. You can't believe the Giants won. I mean, you can't believe the Giants won. Like, I'm walking on cloud. I'm walking on house money, I feel like. I'm walking around going, oh, this is the first time we've been above 500 since 2016 when we were 1-0. Do you realize how bad that is? That's a fact. Haven't been over 500 since we were 1-0 the last time we won a home opener, which we are now, 1-0. Since 2016, 6 years, Ray, of I never see them over 500. Not even close. And I know you're a Dolphins fan. I'm preaching to the choir, but it's Thursday and I'm breathing it all out. I got to get Sunday out of me. Anything to say on that, Ray?
Yeah, no, my son has some Giant fan friends, and at certain points in that game, they were ready to commit suicide. Honestly, ready to commit suicide. There was just some bizarre things in that game. Like really bad mistakes by both teams, and obviously Tennessee choked at the end, but that was the kind of game that the Giants you could see them win. Like that was the game script that they would win. Even coach just had a smile on his face the whole time when Tennessee was going to kick the field goal because I think you guys had to do that just to get the schneid off your shoulder.
Yeah, you got to get out. Those close games are killing us. And
it was bizarre, though. I mean,
listen, they made mistakes. God. We made mistakes. So I don't feel bad for any of the drop passes they made at the end, any of those stupid mistakes, because that always happens to us anyways. We won this one. I'll talk about it later. But let us bring in, of course, Mastradamus. What's going on, Matt?
Congratulations to the both of you. Congratulations to the both of you, gentlemen. What a week. What a week. Watched a lot of the tape back just to see if I thought I saw what I saw the first time. I seen a lot of things the second time that I didn't see the first time, to be honest with you. We'll talk about it as we go game by game. Yep, I had a tremendous 1 o'clock. Tried to follow it up with the 4s. Oakland didn't come through with me. David Cobb, boy, oh boy. And they're not who we thought they were.
No, they're not.
Hey, for the record, though, when I wrote down the 6 outright dogs we had winning, the best 3 we had that we all agreed upon immediately was the Dolphins, the Bears, and Giants.
Yeah.
And then after that was the Jags, Raiders, and Broncos, who all lost. So it's like when we knew what we knew, we were right. When we were kind of, it didn't come out. So before we get into the games, we're going to go through the games, break them down like we usually do, and then get into some fantasy info. We have joining us 2 points of contention to deal with the Legit Fantasy Football League that we are all currently in. This is after week 1. Now, excuse me. Rule 1 is that if you are the team with the lowest score, you have to come on the show and apologize or send an audio or something. Now, that was Coach Kyle. We'll leave it at that. He is not sending in and refusing to do said apology. Therefore, it was upon the champ's decree that we are allowed to rename his team during this show. So if you're watching the show, you should be always hitting the like button and subscribe, which we never ask anybody to do, which I realize is dumb of us. But please hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment. Help us name his team, a team that did not follow the stipulations of said league. Okay? Secondly, I want to bring on Coach TJ, who wants to talk about beating the champ this week. Coach TJ, how are you tonight?
Hello, gentlemen.
How you
What's going
feeling?
on, Coach?
You know, I'm pretty good. I got to say, it was kind of like light work. Like, I know that you came on with the bravado and the Randy Macho Man Savage, and I think you had crowns. I think you had like 4 guys holding you up during the last podcast because you're the king and the champion. But your team's pretty terrible. Like if you took,
You mean the champs team. Oh, in the loss week 1. I actually spoke with the champ earlier. You're not going to believe this, but I did.
Who?
And there you have it. The champ's response.
That's outstanding. But I got to say, you had a real problem after Monday night because whatever they're doing with the Rams, Cam Akers is not part of it. I'm sorry.
No, I removed him from the starting lineup. I've got that team is so deep. I put Amari Cooper in his spot. Like I just had a couple of guys go flat week 1.
Well, I mean,
look at that team: Barkley, Henry, Josh Allen. Like forget about it. Trust me, we're good. That team is good.
Yeah, but I mean, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 guys score 2 points or less. Like that's week 1, right? So that's not because of injuries. That's because you drafted terrible.
Derrick Henry got beat up by the Giants defense.
Allen Robinson's a no-show. Tight ends are no-shows all around the league.
Look at my bench. I'm all set. See, you're talking about week 1, and I played the long game in this one. I know that 8 teams will make the playoffs.
Eight teams make the playoffs?
Oh yeah, and 2 teams are no longer allowed. And 2 teams are no longer allowed in the league.
Really?
Yeah, so there is a bit something to this.
Wow, that's kind of aggressive, but all right.
I'd like to propose. I like to propose something, guys. I saw something on Twitter. I think it's a great idea. I know we're doing a video message for the lowest scoring team on a weekly basis, but I think last place, who doesn't make the playoffs, I saw a great idea. We should force them to make their own calendar, their own yearly calendar for 2023 with pictures of them for each month. Who's with me?
Wow, that'd be brutal. I would do that because I know I'm not coming in last. So yeah, I'm down for that.
Oh, that some of the things, if you go through the internet, you can go in a real rabbit hole looking at some of the penalties they give to the last place team. Some of the things are hysterical. Everything from like tattoos to like just outright humiliation. It's pretty cool.
One of them was having a person, if they're low on the week, drive through a McDonald's, drive through 10 consecutive times and not say anything to people. Just keep driving through 10 times.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we can't get the first guy to even record a reaction, and we're gonna get that. So again, in the comments, please leave a name of Coach Kyle's new team.
Brother Ray, you got no one playing tonight, do you?
Well, I'm in like 8 leagues, so I always have somebody playing. It's always somebody playing. But now I'm playing you this week, right?
You are playing me this week, and I'm looking at your starting lineup right now. I don't see anybody playing tonight.
Yeah, I don't think I have anybody playing tonight.
And I'll tell you, how good did Mahomes look?
Oh,
stupid.
People forget. I think people forgot. Like he's the best quarterback in football.
We're
And,
gonna go around the horn on all the games. TJ, you're welcome to stay and go around the horn with us. It's up to
Bears
you.
won too.
The
Yeah,
Bears
we can
won.
do that.
Fantasy teams won.
For the
Giants
record,
won.
our big three underdog picks were in this room: the Dolphins, Giants, and Bears. We all agreed upon the fact that those are all upsets in the making. I mean, the Giants pulled it off the way they pulled it off. The other two teams just smashed. We knew the Pats were getting smashed because we're from New England. Like, we knew what was coming, so that's just how that goes.
I'll tell you, can I tell you this though? Can we
Okay.
just make all stadiums go back to natural grass?
Yeah.
We have more games in the mud. Like, just aesthetically watching the Bears Niners game, like, yeah, the weather was clearly an issue, but watching guys play and actually be dirty playing football, it was refreshing. Like, get rid of this turf nonsense. Let's go back to mud and slipping, and receivers can't get out of their breaks and quarter. Let's get back to that. What's wrong with it?
I'm sure that the players' union will have no issue with that. That they'll just push that right through and be like, "Yeah, that's good."
That's good.
These
That's
guys, you kidding me? All right, so we're gonna get through this. Gonna start it off with the Ravens and the Jets. Brother, I'm gonna start with you really quickly on the Ravens and Jets. What the hell happened with the Jets? You like the Ravens in this. Matt went the other way. I believe I was with Matt. What is it about this game, right? What happened here? What are the Jets still missing, I guess, is what I'm asking.
They're who they've always been. They look the same. You would think second year in with a coaching staff, the first year you have that excuse, new offense, new defense. I mean, the rushing attack was non-existent. Flacco, everyone's been raving about him in camp. I mean, he didn't have it, guys. I mean, their defense was pathetic. The Ravens, they looked like Air Coryell against the Jets. I mean, they could have had probably 3 more like bombs if they wanted to. And this is a team that didn't have a legitimate running back in the game. Let's be honest. But they just find ways to do things. They find ways to win. They find ways to get it done. And the Jets are just the Jets. And until we see otherwise, it doesn't matter where they play the game. But I mean, they're one of the games I had, obviously. But I mean, it's the same old. Ravens,
Maddie,
when they're down, they respond.
Maddie, when this kid comes back, the paper boy comes back, and he starts starting for Flacco. Is that going to make any difference?
I'm not sure it's going to make much of a difference. Like what I was touching on when I made the Jets pick is that everybody that played in his absence played better and more fluidly. I expected the Jets to come in with these pieces that they had in the offseason and really show us something new. It didn't happen. And I really, I was wrong about Lamar Jackson. Like, three titties. He's got 3 passing touchdowns. Like Brother Ray said, he could have had more. Looked good too in the air. So I was wrong about Lamar Jackson, and maybe sometimes when you're looking at fantasy, the best thing to do is look at their contract, and he's putting the bank.
Coach, anything you want to add on that game?
Yeah, if you're the team and you have Joe Flacco and he's throwing almost 60 passes for Joe Flacco, you're just doomed, right? You just don't know what the hell you're doing. That's it.
I feel bad. I thought the Jets would take the jump that the Giants and Dolphins. I felt like they were all in the same boat. I still kind of feel like I'm hoping the Jets are going to be there, but I don't know what it is about the stupid Jets. They just stink. Like, that was a rough game. All right, Maddie, Saints to the Falcons. This ended up being a 1-point win by the Saints. Gotta love them for winning the game. I love the Falcons with the spread on this one. What did you come away with?
Let's be serious here. Jameis Winston is looking good. Really good. And what I was surprised to see is the fight and the resiliency of the Falcons staying in the game. But Jameis Winston working, and it looks like Michael Thomas is like the third option right now, maybe kind of in somewhat of the organization doghouse. Then you got Taysom Hill coming in. Like, guys, listen, if you got a problem with tight end, please go pick up Taysom Hill. Put him in there. It's hybrid. You're going to get some possible passing. He can't really pass that great. The option is there. You can get so much fantasy points out of just that hybrid QB tight end option. I like the Saints, but I also, like Brother Ray has been saying it, Marcus Mariota, look out, please.
All right. Let's get through this game quicker. Because I just want to bring in our next guest. TJ, anything you want to add on the Saints Falcons?
No.
Okay. Well, let's use the word defer. Ray, you're up.
Like Maddie said with the Falcons, I mean, Mariota had 70 yards rushing. 70 yards rushing for fantasy, that's not chump change. That all helps. I mean, he scored like 20 points in some leagues without throwing a touchdown. Like that's pretty good. Drake London, good as advertised. And then Patterson, everybody's sleeping on Patterson. He ripped out 100 yards rushing. And their defense played well in the beginning. I mean, the Saints can do anything early. They came back late, and the Falcons, choked at the end. But I mean, the Falcons are a team to watch.
All right. Before we get to the third game, let us bring in Buddy Money. There. What's up, Buddy?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we all doing?
Very good, buddy. Thank you.
1-0, buddy. 1-0.
Right?
Two
What
Dolphin
a good
fans.
week to be a Dolphins
What are you
fan.
talking about? We got 3 Dolphins fans. Dolphins swarm.
So
Easy. Take it easy, dude. Take it easy. Not too much excitement. I don't want to curse anything. Don't
let
fuck it
us
up.
go. And plus, you're letting a Pats fan root for your Dolphins, which is kind of creepy. Let's go over this one. 20-7. The Patriots didn't look like they had anything at all, in my opinion. Dolphins look dominant at times, but I will throw this up there. The score does not represent what they could have put up if they played better. So that's not even me saying I think the Dolphins played great. I just think that, man, the Pats don't. I mean, when you got Matt Patricia calling in plays, and now Joe Judge, by the way, is no longer offensive line coach, but quarterbacks coach, which is even better for him to be talking to as a quarterback. Brother Ray, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins defense, I think, played a masterful game. I think they're back end now with Holland. And Jones is as good as it gets. They're probably the two best safeties in football. And I think you saw it. I mean, passing-wise, they had a couple of plays on the outside. And the other thing is the pass could not run up the middle. And I can't remember the last time the Patriots were not successful up the middle. They were okay going wide on the Dolphins, but they couldn't get anything up the middle. I've
had that problem.
I'm sure you have. But the Dolphins, I mean, the first series of the game, they should have had a 70-yard touchdown to Hill. Ball got deflected at the line of scrimmage. And then all the pundits went crazy and started saying, oh, it's to his arm. Oh, he's got a noodle arm. And by the way, if I ever have to watch another game with Adam Archuleta as color analyst, I will poke out my eyes and my ears.
That's a bit extreme of a dislike. Buddy, what did you think of the game? You're a Dolphins fan.
I think the defense held us all together, but we cannot rely on plays like that. The Devontae Parker thing in the end zone, that was totally holding. I'm so glad they didn't call that and they intercepted the ball instead. The defense held him in the game, I think, completely. Tua, he doesn't have me sold yet. I love Waddle. I love Tyreek Hill is very useful. Just like he didn't get in the game at all. But I think Tua's just, I don't know.
Buddy froze. Matty, really quick, who should I play at flex between Josh Palmer,
unsure,
MVS, and Kareem Hunt?
I'm not sure if I'm sold on Josh Palmer just because Keenan Allen's out, although he should get uptick in touches. But
Ray, you want to add in on this quick?
I love Josh Palmer tonight. Right. Don't look at last week. That was an aberration. They game planned with Keenan Allen. He's going to step in that position now. And they're playing the Chiefs. They're going to put up 40 points tonight.
Man, somebody just went all turbo on me. Okay, pick 2 full PPR: Sutton, Mike Williams, Dillon, or St. Brown. Lions. My only fear is I've got Herbert and Everett tonight. Do I want the 3-team stack on a Thursday night? By the way, this is from Football Fan 28. Now, I would like to ask you to hit the like and subscribe button, leave a comment to help name Kyle's team. However, I worry about anybody with a generic name like this and a very oddly printed out comment like this. Raymond, does not look like a copy and paste?
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Let me say a 3-team stack. If your team was the Cleveland Browns, you probably don't want to do a 3-player team stack. But if it's the Chargers, you want to get as many Chargers in your lineup as possible. So if you have Herbert, Everett, and Williams, chances are you're going to do pretty well.
I guess what we're trying to say is, Football Fan 28, if you're going to do a stack, you're looking for guys who actually score touchdowns from a team that scores touchdowns. Pretty much. Matt, what would you like to add about the Pats, the Dolphins?
I thought that you would see Waddle more, but I love the fact that they made it a statement with, we're going to keep using Tyreek in so many ways, and at the line, near the line, make him make the play. It was like we could do this whenever we want, and they will. And then not only are they going to, because they wanted to extend it and then go over the top, which they tried eventually. But listen, I'm a big Miami fan this year. I'm invested in them. I watched the game. The first glance, yes, dominant performance, subpar performance by the Patriots. But then I watched it back, and I said earlier that the second time I watched things, the better. And I do think that there's something to be talked about with the Patriots defense. They did a great job holding Miami to 13 points. That's what can be said about the Patriots.
All right.
Another thing that can be said about them is they did look good running the ball at times. I said that their offense was going to be anemic. And actually in the last show, I said, what the question in this game is the Patriots going to provide points? I actually said that. But the thing is their offense did look a little bit better than some high school team that I expected to see. That's the only thing I'm going to say. 7 points is not anything I want to brag about, but I think that they performed a little bit more admirable than people are giving them credit for. And I think it was just another stupid, ignorant display of Bill Belichick keeping Kendrick Bourne on the sideline until the fourth quarter, which is just his time has passed him by. I'm a Patriots fan that is a Miami fan this year because I've been telling you guys for 2 years, I'm done with Bill Belichick. I think he was mad, and I want to keep going on. I think he was mad that he didn't get Jimmy Garoppolo because that team was built to win, and he wanted to separate from Brady first. He didn't get it. Now he's giving Bob Kraft a dead skeleton team and saying,
okay, moving over to Chicago, Coach. We all here had the 49ers getting beat by the Bears. I don't think we like Trey Lance, and we like Justin Fields, and it just didn't feel right. There's just a lot of stuff that didn't feel right. Now, what did you think about this game going in as a Bears fan?
Well, you might be the only people in the world that thought the Bears were going to win because every freaking commentator, when they did spend their one obligation of like 15 seconds to cover the Bears, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion. But to me, the worse the weather got, the better I started to feel, right? So as we were turning, it was going to turn into like a mush bowl. It's like, all right, we get a shot in that because no one's going to go crazy in that kind of situation. The Bears offense looked like it was dead in the water. In the first half, they couldn't do anything. I know you guys are probably watching the Patriots, but watching the first half of the Bears game was bad. And Fields looks terrible. I'm sorry. I'm not on him either. His 70-yard pass or whatever it was for the touchdown, that was just a busted coverage somewhere. Dude standing there wide open. Any one of us here would have hit him in the hands, right? But he didn't do anything. He doesn't make any plays. But those for the fantasy people who were putting Trey Lance as like the ultimate sleeper in the history of fantasy football, you got to I don't see it, guys. Like, I don't see it. I know they want him to be good. I don't think he's good. I think Garoppolo is gonna be taking snaps like early in the season. But the Bears, yeah, a win's a win.
You actually sound like a fan who's not yet hit rock bottom, if that's possible. Like, you haven't gone through seasons of only 4 wins for like 4 or 5 seasons in a row. You keep coming in mediocre with the Bears, and you're not appreciating a week 1 victory like this over the 49ers. Like, this isn't. You should be dancing in the streets.
The Bears have an absolutely easy schedule. Like, this team could claw their way to like 7 or 8 wins, right? And I'm afraid they're going to do it because what they really need to do is bottom out. But they can win some of the games on their schedule. Like, they get Detroit always twice, right? You got Minnesota, you got Houston on the schedule. Like, they have some bad teams on the freaking schedule. And I don't know. I guess you're happy with any win, but Mooney, one catch.
That, you know what though, when you knock off one of the good teams on the schedule that's supposedly supposed to be like bad, just like the Giants had supposedly one of the worst schedules, and oh boy, the really biggest team we had to watch out for was the Titans because they were in the AFC Championship game and all that other jazz. You never know. It all turns on its ear. Let me roll over to Maddie. What did you think about the Bears 49ers? What jumped
I think
out?
DJ's completely wrong with the Bears. Darryl Mooney getting 1 catch in the Monsoon Bowl is not a bad thing. He's gonna be a PPI machine. Justin Fields is something to be excited about, regardless of the tools that they have around him. Watching him in college and watching him trend and transcend in the NFL, he's gonna do big things. In the preseason, he was throwing the ball at every level, crisp, big arm, big winner, big hop, big head, smart kid, everything you want in a QB. But they got Green Bay this week, and they're like giving 10 points. Listen, take the Bears, and I'm going to tell you something, TJ. There's a chance they win that game.
You're talking about beating the Packers in primetime?
Yes.
That's what you said? Yeah. Can I just, in case anyone's listening, I don't want anyone to do that.
Listen to me.
Do not
Green
do that.
Green Bay can't score right now. So you're going to tell me that they can just move that ball against that Bears defense
Lazard will be
score
back.
at will? It's not going to happen. So, yes, they can muckle their ways into a victory.
They don't beat the Packers.
Brother Ray, any thoughts on this game quickly? Not this
Yeah,
game. I mean,
guys.
the game before it.
Justin Fields threw 17 passes in the game. So just slow your roll on judging any of the offensive players in this game. That means Trey Lance too. We got to give him another shot before we can say he's a bust or not. But Fields is not a bust, okay? Cole Kmet had 0 catches. Do not panic.
0.
Khalil Herbert looked really good, by the way. I think he's the best running back on that team. And I think you're going to see that as the season progresses. But this game was an absolute monsoon. The Niners offense is built on motion, all pre-snap motion, just like you saw in the Dolphins game. Guys, they couldn't even walk without slipping. So they had to basically go to back to square one, and they couldn't run their offense. So I think we got to take weather into consideration here.
Would it trade away T. Higgins and J-Rob for Diggs?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
No.
Well, what J-Rob we talking about? James Robinson, the running back from the
James Robinson, yeah.
And
I wouldn't
T.
give
Higgins?
Diggs up.
I would take Diggs for those two.
No. Why? Because
All right,
Higgins got hurt? He's when he comes back, he's a legitimate, even though he's not the number 1 receiver on that team, he's going to get you 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns.
Well, so will Diggs. But all right.
J-Rob?
All right.
What's J-Rob going to get this year? He looks like he's the leading rusher on that team.
Right now.
You know, that's a situation where you got to know more. Like, when you trade Robinson, is he your 3rd running back? Because then I say Diggs all day, right? If you drafted the guy in the 3rd round and he's your 2nd back, and now it's like you want to break up your backfield for a minor upgrade at receiver, then maybe you don't do it.
My issue with that is this. So I because I'm an NTN guy, I immediately went to read all the Jacksonville papers and what they were saying. And basically what they said is that Robinson looked really slow in the game, that he really looked like that he was back from an injury and it showed. And Etienne was just more explosive. The offense, however, in Jacksonville was quite horrendous, and it turned into be like just a mess. So I say that's a wash, and I cannot see Etienne not pulling away. He's got to pull away. He'll pull away from J. Rob, and I don't think Robinson's going to be worth it moving down the stretch. So I think you end up with Diggs over T. Higgins. I don't know. I take it. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Let's move on to the Browns and Panthers. Here's a game that I enjoyed. The Browns and Panthers. It didn't end exactly how I expected, but it had the makings of it. The Browns ended up winning 26-24, ruining Baker's chance at redemption, which in a weird way is even sweeter because screw Baker Mayfield. Ray, what did you think about the game?
Just so we can be clear, the jerk factor went over on Sunday, by the way, and Monday. So just so we're all clear.
Yeah, yep. The Jets, the Panthers, and the Packers over 3.
Over. All the jerk factor just went.
Apparently, there's no douchebag juice early in the season. They have to build it up.
Interesting too. That would happen. Vegas benefits on that Sunday, on that first weekend. But I mean, the Browns, they did what we thought they would do. They ran the ball down their throat, and I thought the Panthers would have an answer for their rushing attack. They did not. Chubb is Chubb. I mean, they're two of the best running backs in the league. I mean, Hunt is a starter for almost any other team. So it was kind of what we expected. Jacoby Brissett, game manager, very, conservative. Any Amari Cooper owners like myself were not happy, obviously, but I mean, they eked it out. They did what they had to do. And the Panthers, let's face it, they showed a little bit of spark later in the game, but their defense really disappointed. They could not stop the run, and the Browns just ran over them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I went to go spray like a stain on the bar, and I thought it was Windex, but the wife has become prone to buying that Windex that has the vinegar smell.
Oh,
and I don't know what the point is. Is that supposed to smell cleaner? What is
Do
the
you have-
point?
Do you have cat?
No, dude, no. It just smells like vinegar.
You have a dog?
Well, yeah, but I don't spray that on the ground. I have to use like
No, but
extra-
I think if you have pets, you're supposed to use that vinegar stuff because it eats through the stuff that's in the air that we can't smell because we live with our dog anyway.
No,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
At least that's what my wife
Vinegar
tells me when
Good
I'm
point.
shopping. I don't know.
good point.
stinks. All right, sorry. Let's bring it back to football. But goddamn, that stinks. Now it smells like I'm making Pa's Easter eggs, and we're not even near Easter. Let's go into Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh against the Bengals. The Bengals. Pittsburgh against the Bengals. Now, the Steelers won this game 23-20. Joe Burrow threw how many interceptions, Matt?
5, right?
5, right? You got to love the fact, though, that you're still in the game and your quarterback throws 5 interceptions. So, Matt, what did you think?
Well, last year he got sacked like 9 times through 3 picks against the game in Tennessee, right? Wasn't it something stupid like that? 7 times, 9 times, something stupid. Listen, Joe Burrow is going to make, and it's so funny, right? It's funny because I said when I believe I took Cincy with the spread, and it's funny because I said this is a game that Pittsburgh and that organization could win. This is a game that they can win, and I should have went with Pittsburgh because I said it. I said that this is a game they could win. Fitzpatrick, you know what I mean? It's like when that whole deal went down and they were trying to talk him up about being the best safety in the league and leaving Miami for what he did. He proved it with every step of the way in that game. 14 tackles, blocked extra point. Unbelievable.
Let me ask
game.
you this. I'm going to ask Coach TJ this quickly. Mitchell Trubisky, I think he got a bad deal in Chicago. I thought he did more for Chicago than Chicago will ever mention. I think that he might end up filling into this role. What do you think?
I think you're half right. You got a raw deal in Chicago. there used to be a time where if you drafted a quarterback in the top 5, you didn't even play him for 4 years. And now you draft Mitch Trubisky, you move up to get him. You don't like how he looks in like 12 games, and you're like, oh, you got to go. You're a bust. Like, that's bullcrap. But I feel like they're going to do the same thing with him in Pittsburgh because they drafted the kid for a reason, and I think they want the kid to play. So I think Trubisky is going to have a long career, but he's going to be one of these guys that bounces around, almost like a what's his name, Fitzpatrick. He's going to have that kind of career because I don't think anyone's going to build around him, and I think the Bears should have. I really do.
All right, so Brother Ray, to you then, Kenny Pickett probably won't be ready this year, but from what I've heard. I mean, if he is, it's. Let me put it this way: would you hand the keys over to Kenny Pickett right now if Mitch plays another decent game? Just a decent game, you're in it.
Did he play a decent game though?
Did he? Yeah, he 1 touchdown, no interceptions, right?
Under 200 yards in this NFL, 21 for 38. I mean, this is not exactly a great game that he had.
He did not lose the game.
Yeah, true that.
And that's what Ben used to do. Like later in his career, Ben would blow the game by throwing stupid picks and, standing in the pocket, taking unnecessary hits. I was impressed with the way Trubisky managed the game. I think Coach wants to keep him in there, but Pickett looked fantastic in the preseason. Let's just get that out of the way now. And you see, like, Pittsburgh's just like Baltimore. Everyone's like, they're going to lose. No, Roethlisberger's gone. They're going to regress. They don't regress. They just plug and play. On defense, on offense, that's what they do. And let me just say, Joe Burrow, I love the fact that he came out and threw 5 picks because you know what? He doesn't care. He could throw 50 picks in a game. He wouldn't care. That guy, he's all dog. And he's just going to come out the next play and just try and burn you. And he almost brought them back to win. So his, kickers really blew that game. So, I mean, I like Pittsburgh. I had Pittsburgh. But, by the way, is there any question that Jamar Chase and Jefferson are the 2 best receivers in the league? Period.
Jamar Chase made that catch that was incomplete where he caught it one-handed, but his torso was turning. It was like torquing around, which is like if you just do the motion, you'll pull your back muscle. You'll hurt your
I know it's 1
back.
week, and right now
Seriously.
Jefferson has the lead, but I got Chase as the number 1. I've said it for a long time. Eventually, I think it will pan out and be right, but it's going to be great to watch these 2 fight.
All right, well, bouncing around I go. Buddy, the Eagles played the Lions, and this was pretty much how everybody thought it would go except Matt for some reason.
Me, I think I had the Eagles. I'm the only one that had the Eagles, I think.
No, me and you took the
Oh,
Eagles. This is the one time I said I hate betting the Eagles. Remember, I said it flat out. I hate it, but I
think I took the Lions.
You did. I'm telling you, you went. Yeah, you lost. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like what I'm saying is, though, if I bet the Eagles, trust me.
He won. He won with the spread. Spread was 5.5.
Oh, what was its final?
38-35. Eagles won by 3.
Right. My bads, Matt. You were right. We were wrong. Tell you what, though, it still didn't go the way I wanted to go. I mean, the game ended up ending exactly the worst way a Giants fan could hope. That was picking the so then tell me what happened in this game, Matt. Why wasn't it such a Eagles won 38-35 with such a vaunted defense? Why are they giving up 35?
Hey, listen, right? About 2 years ago, Brother Ray was saying it too, but I was saying St. Brown is the most pro-ready wide receiver, and he went to the Lions, and look what he's doing. And then you got DeAndre Swift. Unbelievable. 144 yards. Kid's a beast. If you drafted D Swift this year, you're loving him. Lions are scrappy. They got a lot of outlets over there. It's funny. I think Brother Ray was saying you can get a lot out of Jared Goff in fantasy. I think he's going to be a little bit more consistent this year. He's delivering. I like the Lions. I think that they ended the season well last year, and they didn't win the game, but they were right there, and they could have.
Buddy, would you like to weigh in on this? Eagles winning by 3.
I I think I picked the Eagles, but they didn't cover the spread. So am I correct with that?
Yes.
It was
did not
a
cover the
4-point spread. I did not expect the Lions to keep up that much. I expected more out of the Eagles. I'm sorry, I have not as much to offer as everybody else.
Then just say defer. Thank you, buddy. Ray.
Defer. Thank you.
The Lions offense is absolutely legit. Okay. They are legit. Like they're going to be I think they're going to be one of the better offenses in the league because they're going to be behind. Their defense does not look good. Goff, Chark, Brown, Josh Reynolds, and Jamison Williams potentially later in the season. And you have Swift, you have Williams at running back, and you have TJ Hawkinson. What's not to like? And that offensive line has gotten a lot better. The Eagles blitzed like mad. That's why Goff played better. He actually had time to go through his progressions. They're a team. If that defense can improve just a little bit, they're a legitimate team, the Lions.
All right, I'll buy that. Let me bounce over to this one. The Colts and the Texans end in a boring ass tie.
The only one who took the Texans too.
No, actually, Ray.
Really, you, brother Ray?
You guys thought I was crazy.
No, he liked the Texans as well. This game was so just an awful game. Like if you watched it, if you try to watch any of it, it was just a hard watch. It was a hard watch. So I mean, like, I have nothing to offer on this game because I'm going first on this one. It was a tie. I expect the Colts to be better. I expect them to get better as the weeks go on, and I expect the Texans to be better than we thought, but not that good. How about that? I still have a little faith in the Colts after watching this game, especially with that line and the defensive line and whatnot. Brother Ray?
Matt Ryan looked old. Matt Ryan looked really old in this game. And the Texans show that they're a legitimate team. I mean, they have some good parts. I mean, Matt Ryan was outplayed by Davis Mills. If we're being honest, Davis Mills was the better quarterback on the field for that first game. Now, yeah, the Colts, I mean, obviously with their weapons, you think eventually, but I mean, the rookie dropped a touchdown pass. Unbelievable. So, I mean, they have some issues, and that defense didn't look good. Kwity Paye, 2 sacks, by the way. Bishop Hendricken, 2 sacks, week 1. So that was great. But, no, I mean, I think the Colts were a major disappointment. I just love the Texans. I love the mojo of that team. They're kind of like the Falcons and the Lions. For me, they play for that coach. Like Lovey's got a way about him.
All right. TJ, anything you want to throw at that game?
Yeah. That might be the closest the Texans get to a win. I don't know what game you watch, but the Texans might be the worst team in football. There's nothing to like about what's going on over there. And if you think Lovie Smith is the answer to motivate people, you're crazy. That guy's going to sit in a cover 2 and get buried for the rest of the year. Congratulations on the tie, Lovie. So when you finish 0-16-1, that would be pretty impressive. But, yeah, that's what I got on Lovie Smith and the Texans.
Took you to the Super Bowl, Coach. Come on, he took you to the Super Bowl.
Stop it.
All right, so let's jump ahead to the.
Hold on. I want to say something.
All right, go ahead.
I couldn't disagree more.
With who?
Couldn't disagree more.
Which one, Ray?
With Coach TJ.
Again, all
the
right.
Texans have Damian Pierce at running back, who's a nice young stud. Nico Collin, who's a blossoming big dog opposite Brandon Cooks. And listen, they just tied the team who won the division last year. I think they're right there where they need to be. Davis Mills had the best pro day, but was covered up by all those names. He's a slinger.
Can we clarify this? If Vegas had the Texans having the lowest over-under in the entire NFL, which means Vegas thinks that the Texans are the worst team in the NFL. I'm telling you they're the worst team in the NFL, and I'm telling you their quarterback's the worst quarterback in the NFL. That's a starter.
Davis Mills is the worst quarterback in the NFL?
Definitely. If he's not the worst, he's the second worst. If you want to put, I don't know. I don't even know. So here's what I'm saying. Vegas thinks they're the worst team. They have the lowest over-under of 4.5, and they just tied. I'll put $5,000 that they come in under that 4.5 right now. $5,000 that you guys want to be the hype man for Davis Mills and the Texans. but nobody's going to put $5,000 right now that they can.
I don't
win
believe you would put $5,000 on it. I would have to look at the schedule, and I'll tell you what.
They don't have to
I'll
win
get
4
back to
more.
you.
Oh, well, you have to win 5.
I actually,
Yeah.
I actually have cards with me that'll
Gad.
work.
Bad.
Whatever you want to do, I'm the card.
We're going to hype them up, but no $5,000 that they'll win 5 effing games because you know that's terrible.
Listen,
Guys,
that card's
focus.
coming out my
Focus.
ass. Look at
Focus. Jags Commanders. Jags Commanders. Jacksonville once again played like they didn't know what was going on and we're not coached correctly. And Washington once again played mediocre enough to beat a bad team. Is that exactly kind of what happened, Brother Ed? Do you see it any different?
Can I say just how much I do not care or dislike for Peterson? I mean, when I watch him coach, it just really, I mean, he used to be a quarterback for my team. I mean, he was there when Shula, passed Hallis and carried him off the field. But he's just, I just do not like him as a coach. I mean, Lawrence, again, he looked awful in the beginning of that game. They came back late, but I like the Jaguars too in this game. I just thought they'd be a better offense this year. And last year, they went through, hell last year with that disgrace of a coach. But I mean, this was like Dotson had a great game. The rookie showed up. Actually, I mean, Wentz had a really good fantasy day. I mean, he was slinging it all over the place.
But he's a train wreck. He looks like he's going to have an emotional breakdown at any given snap. Like
you just don't know what you're going to get, and it won't last. It's probably not going to last. So people are going to pick him up this week, but he's probably going to, turn in 11 next week. But this was a game that if I was forced to watch, I would have been really upset because, ugh.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we got to bang through the 4 o'clock, so we're going to do this
real quick. I'll let you go, but I've been calling his name for a long time. Jahan Dotson.
Yes.
He's going to be a beast all year long. It's not stopping.
All right, we're going to churn through 4 o'clock games really quick, and then I'll just ask for general reactions. You can pick any game. But let's see. We had the Chiefs go and play the Cardinals. Chiefs lumped up the Cardinals 44-21. Raiders went to the Chargers. Chargers won 24-19. Packers went to the Vikings, got stunned, in my opinion, maybe not others, 23-7. And then the Giants went to the Titans and beat the Tennessee Titans 21-20. Ray, pick a game or two you'd like to discuss quick.
I mean, I guess I'll talk about the Chiefs Cardinals. I told you guys Kyler Murray wasn't ready. I told you Kyler was not ready. That team is not ready. And that's a coach that needs to be fired post haste immediately. Like right now, he needs to go. That offense was pathetic. I'm sorry. Kyler Murray was not ready. The Chiefs rolled over them. They were the easiest bet of the day. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, why is this coach still getting leeway? He hasn't won a single thing.
It hasn't looked good. Maddie, would you like to touch on it really quick?
I really will say this, right? I've been the biggest Pat Mahomes hater, and it's maybe it's because of his maybe because of his girlfriend or and his brother or whatever. But Pat Mahomes missing Tyreek Hill has only made him better because he's distributing the ball, and that what we seen last week was the result. I think addition by subtraction.
Buddy, would you like to touch on any game other than the Chiefs and Cardinals? Say the Raiders Chargers, the Packers Vikings, the Giants Titans.
Oh my! I'll tell you that the only one of these games that I was able to watch was the Giants game, and bits and pieces because I was at work. And Saquon Barkley looked absolutely phenomenal, and Chris Henry looked like poop. So that's all I got to add, Mike.
Let me just correct that. So Barkley does look incredible, and Henry just looked like poop because the Giants' defense by Wink Martindale is a very good defense. What I want to add to that is The one issue the Giants had that would have changed that whole game and made it really swing in their direction was they had no pass rush. They couldn't generate a rush. The two people they were missing were Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, those aren't two ends to be like, oh, yeah, they're just ends. Like, you get those guys in the game rushing the passer. That Giants defense, Wink's got – dude, he got rid of Blake Martindale for Blake Martinez for a reason, and that's because Blake wasn't big enough. He wants really big linebackers who just come down the line from the middle and just thump. He doesn't care. Like, the guy's got a different way to go about it. And I love Brian Daboll. I love that call, and I love putting the ball in your best player's hands. On top of that, Daniel Jones can't be blamed for the fumble. That was ridiculous. He got smashed like Beetle Bailey. On top of that, Andrew Thomas played absolutely amazing. If there's one thing I can come away with from this week is if you look up his PP, whatever they call that thing, or if you just watch some people put clips of him up, Andrew Thomas at left tackle was destroying people. Not the same on the other side. When he would lock up somebody, though, he was killing people. Evan Neal was so-so, and I got to tell you, our inside with Feliciano and Glowinski was rough. And Breederson, that was rough. We gave up all our sacks right up the middle. That's where Daniel Jones is at the worst. That's that game. Coach TJ, let me ask you about the Monday night game. I mean, no, not the Monday night, the Sunday night game. Bucks, Cowboys. Did you think anything different was going to happen? I mean, obviously, other than Dak being out for 6-7 weeks, something like that? Or did you see the game going that way? The Buccaneers would dominate.
I thought I was going to come out and score 1 million points. I mean, I was looking forward to the game, and it was a snoozer. When you see Dallas play in a late game, you feel like you're looking for fantasy numbers flying all over the freaking computer, right? Your phone vibrating with alerts. That was a dud. And I'll tell you what, if they don't establish, they have to turn into a team that runs the ball right now. They're going to come in last place in that division. Washington's going to score. The Eagles are going to score, and the Giants look terrific. I think Barkley's the best, right back to being the best running back in the NFC right now. So, to me, Dallas is about to come in last if they don't figure out what to do between the tackles, and I don't think they can do it.
Anybody else want to touch on that game before we go to the Monday night game? Right?
Yeah, I mean, since I'm talking about people who should be fired tonight, let's add another one to the list. Kellen Moore needs to go, guys. The Buccaneers, there was a Buccaneers defensive player that was interviewed on Monday and said, oh, yeah, we knew they were going to give up on the run. We knew that they were going to just keep running and then they were going to give up and just start, trying to throw the ball. And we depended on that and we stopped them. They knew what Kellen Moore was going to do before he did it because that's what he does. He'll run the ball, they'll have some success, and then he stops. And then he starts throwing the ball around and puts his quarterback in the hospital. So, I think Kellen Moore needs to go. And if McCarthy better be careful because if Kellen Moore
needs to go, he
then
lied on his interview.
I mean, you're gonna trot out Cooper Rush for the next 8 games. Cooper Rush, America's team.
Yeah,
Matty?
before you do Monday night, I'm checking out. Good to see you guys.
Me too.
Later, Coach.
I also need to go.
Brother, you're 0-1.
Later, Matt. You picked over tonight.
It's got to be KC. They're missing Keenan Allen, and they're also missing another big piece of their offense. It's they're missing 2. Oh no! I'm sorry. It's San Diego. San Diego was missing 2 pieces tonight. J.C. Jackson. They're missing J.C. Jackson on the opposite side. That's going to be needed tonight. That's going to be sorely missed. And I don't think that the coach for San Diego is up to par with what really the fire of KC is. At KC, Brother Ray seems that he says that there's going to be 40 points scored by the Chargers, so that tells you he thinks the over. I kind of lean towards over. Also, I think the Chargers probably going to give you 20, 24 points, but you got to believe that the Chiefs are going to give you 34, 37, something like that.
All right. So Ray, Matt, thank you. We're going to move on to the Monday night game. So you can leave if you want. Ray, just to review the Monday night game really quick. Broncos, geez, Louise, this game. I mean, I didn't see this coming. This was a bad one for me. I don't know who saw it coming, but what did we miss? Like, what did we
Vegas
miss?
saw it coming. Vegas saw it coming. Vegas
Yeah.
made their money first week of the season on this game. They made a ton of money because everybody, their mom and their grandmother had the Broncos in this one. And guess what? And you looked at that spread and you had to know this was coming. This was coming. And as usual, Vegas capitalized. No one could have ever predicted that in the world. To me, it was my lock of the week with Denver. And I'll be honest with you, the way that coach coached, man, I wouldn't make him coach a high school team. I mean, at the end of that game, 4th and 5, you're going to trot out your kicker and kick a 63-yard field goal instead of 4th and 5 trying to get a first down. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, it was as bad a coaching performance as I've ever seen. I've seen some pretty bad coaches.
All right, let's wrap this up with our game picks for tonight's game. The Chiefs are favored by 4 on my book spread, and I have it as an over-under 52.5. Matt took the Kansas City Chiefs. Buddy, go first. Who do you like?
I'm also going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, I just think they're a more dominant team, and without Allen, I don't think the Chargers stand a chance.
Okay, Raymond, I'm going to go next. Yes. I'm going to go the opposite of the two of them. I'm going with the Chargers +4. Ray, I'm going to go say down outright. Will the Chargers win this game? And I like the over of 52.5. I think they're a better team than the Chiefs right now. How about that?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I'll tell you what. Both these defenses played well last week. KC only gave up 21 points to the Cardinals. Los Angeles gave up 19 points to the Raiders. Two good offensive teams. But I mean, looking at this, I'd probably say I have to go with Kansas City at home minus the 4. They're really good at home. It's going to be a packed house. Mike Williams is not the alpha receiver that everyone thinks he is.
I want him to be.
It's kind of like CeeDee Lamb. Like CeeDee Lamb is not that alpha receiver. He can't be that number one guy. I think it's the same with Mike Williams, and we saw it last week when Allen went out. I mean, DeAndre Carter out of nowhere became like their number one receiver. So I don't think that's Mike Williams for some reason. And I hope I'm wrong. I have in a bunch of leagues, but Kansas City, they don't need an alpha receiver. They equally distribute, and it's the offense. So I'll take Kansas City minus the 4.
All right, so you're going Kansas City. I'm the only one going to San Diego. I don't mind that. I like it like that. Let's see what to end with. So as you noticed, I shaved the head.
Who loves you, baby?
Welcome to the club.
I shaved the head, right?
Who loves you, baby?
And my decision behind shaving the head was simple. Yeah. Apparently after a traumatic event in December, I started to have hair loss. So, I've dealt with it a couple of months. And I was like, yeah, it's all right. And when I realized that I had to actually comb my hair in a certain direction to make it look better than if I combed it in another direction, not a comb over, because you guys saw my hair. My hair was still there, but it was getting to the point where I'm now like, if I don't take care of it, it doesn't look the way I want it to look. I'm like, you know what? I always said that the moment it came where I had to worry about my head of hair, and it had to be something that I did, I was out. Before it had a chance to disappear from my head and decide how it wanted to leave, I'll get rid of it. I'm old enough. 1, 2, with a handsome face like this, how do you go wrong? Like, now it's just more face. It's more bang for the buck. Buddy, we're going to make more money. Pay attention, please. HR on Tuesday. Guys, that was a great show. We will be on again Sunday morning. Make sure 11 a.m. if you want all the great picks. And then Sunday night, we have this great paranormal painter coming on.
Wow.
Yeah,
Painter.
awesome.
That's one of his works. That's one of his works right here. I have it in my house.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Stephen King.
For Coach TJ, for Mastradamus M1, Mr. Never Left, even though he did. For Buddy, Money, there. For Brother Ray, it's me. Mike Leopard King, Mike Gill. This was Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. See you again Sunday. We are done. Enjoy the game. Go